front. I am Sally. Hello, I'm Chef. Jasmine is
Choco wait.
This is the kind of trap that we knew might be out there waiting for us. This is why we didn't want to go down there in the first place. But it was the only way to get where we wanted to go.
Oh, ano ba?
They dug in deeper. Then it got worse.
One day we were looking carefully at the train models when we discovered that there was a rock underneath the vehicle.
This is pretty much your nightmare scenario for this rover design, because you can get to a point where you're kind of hung up on something and all your wheels are kind of flailing and you're unable to ever touch the ground.
Each time we would get stuck, there was always a concern, hey, this could be it. But this one was looking worse than most.
It was bad enough that they had to run some tests before sending any drive commands to Spirit. Just as they'd done when Opportunity got stuck, they tried to replicate Spirit's journey on Mars. They brought in a test rover and began looking for a way out. The rock underneath was the biggest concern. The microscopic camera at the end of the arm can't focus beyond 2.5 inches, but it was the only way to see under the rover. Even then, they couldn't tell if they were looking at a rock that could hang up the rover, or just a loose stone, or even if they were in contact with it. It was clear, though, that if they dug in any deeper, they would be. And they did sink deeper every time they turned the wheels. There was no obvious way out, and everyone knew it.
Well, there's a lot of stress. People are having a hard time. We all are. If there's a way of getting the rover out, we're going to find it. It is, however, a very, very difficult situation.
Months later, Spirit was still stuck. Another winter was closing in, and the rover was in a dangerous position. Tilted away from the sun.
We were running out of time. After all of our testing, we came up with a plan. And we were ready to try it out on Mars.
They planned to back out the turn that might help Spirit clear the rock. But then, another
The right front wheel had already failed, and with 2 dead wheels, that thing's all gone. That was it. And we lost the second wheel.
In March 2010, Spirit did not call home for a scheduled communication session. Starved for power, the rover likely went into hibernation mode. No survival heaters, no communication, just waiting for the summer sun to recharge its batteries.
Even then, we still had a lot of hope for her. We don't believe that she was going to come out of it.
By September 2010, spring had returned to Gusev Crater, and with it, the possibility that Spirit would wake up and call home.
We're involved in a very extensive recovery effort, sending commands to the rover in the hope of eliciting some sort of response.
They sent up more than 1,000 commands over the next 10 months. They monitored Spirit's channels in the deep space network, listening for any hidden signal.
Di ko pa nauubos.
At times, they thought they had something.
Mami, tago eh.
Spirit had pulled things out of the fire. So many times. I don't think anybody truly believed that she wouldn't get out of the
Not this time. By the spring of 2011, Spirit had been silent for over a year.
I've been missing her for a long time, and it's tough to kind of put a finality to that and say, okay, that last time you heard from her, it's the last time you were ever going to hear from her.
People are holding out hope, but I think the reality is people have to start to accept that Spirit's time on Mars may be done.
They listened intermittently for another 6 months, but the mission was over. Her final resting place next to home plate is a hard-fought 5 miles from the landing site on the far side of the Columbia Hills.
Weirdo.
I always felt that the one honorable way to lose our rover would be we just blow it out. That's what happened with Spirit. We just beat it up to the point where it couldn't work anymore, which meant that we had squeezed everything out of it we possibly could. So that's an honorable death. And then the other thing that made it tolerable was we had to go back to work and keep operating Opportunity the next day. We still had a living rover.
Next Thursday, as Mars continues.
That's actually the lack of resources that we have to worry about on Mars.
They were supposed to have 2 years to find the location for right conditions.
I've got to spend more than 100 hours in breathable air.
Mars itself is your enemy.
What we're doing is really rather difficult. A lot of things have to go right. There's always some sort of a risk of setting the wrong way. Mars, new episode next Thursday night at 9 on National Geographic.
I didn't see it coming.
I love you boys from the beginning. I did not like continuing. Is this one of you want?
Tingnan mo.
Gamitan mo.
Wala dyan eh. Hindi natin sila ako ni Mami. Parang hindi daw makakain.
World's worst scene.
Hindi ko na-uod. The boys kid.
Co-presented by McDonald's. Love Kotor. BDO. We find ways. Brought to you by the new Christmas flavors of Selecta. Black Forest, Butterscotch Salted Caramel, Mango Sandoval. Sarap ng weekend with Selecta.
Over the last 40 years, countless men and women have strived to make the world a better place, inspiring many more to follow in their footsteps. Explorers, protectors, creators. Celebrate these remarkable heroes and discover their life-changing work. The Rolex Awards for Enterprise 30th Anniversary, Friday, December 2, 7:30 p.m. on National Geographic.